Hi guys, welcome to our next train along session. In this session, we're going to go over healing with the auto sit. So most of you probably watched our last session where we had Nico with heal. This is doing the same training session for Nico, his second training session, and he was doing really well with his healing. So we decided to continue with the auto sits. So basically, the whole idea of an auto sit is that the dog learns to sit automatically when you stop walking. This isn't something that you use a command for. It forces the dog to pay attention to you, pay attention to your movement, and it's also just a very polite thing for your dog to do when you are either greeting someone on the street, waiting at a stoplight or a corner. It's a good behavior, and it's a good structured item to add to your dog's walk and to your dog's routine. So in this video, what we are doing is going over the auto sit with Nico. So he's never done this before. He does know how to sit. He does understand the leash pressure concept for sit. So when we're using a prong collar, we put a little bit of upward leash pressure on the dog, as well as tap on his rear end. Sometimes it takes a little bit of a firmer push for it to go down. And as soon as the tush hits the ground, we release all pressure. We also follow that with a marker such as good or yes to let the dog know that he did exactly what we asked. So in the beginning, when you're teaching auto sits, it can take a little bit of time. The dog is used to, or most dogs are used to, getting a verbal command or a hand signal when you want them to do something. And this is a little bit of a different scenario. We're not actually talking to the dog, we're just expecting him to understand what we're asking based off of our body language. So you're going to have to go through this a lot, especially in the beginning, over and over again, lots of repetition. You can see here that I'm really only taking a couple of steps in between asking Nico to do another auto sit. Again, we are not actually using the word sit. So even in the beginning of training, even when we're first starting this, we don't want to say the word because we don't want the dog to be reliant on the command in order to do what we're asking. It is called an auto sit because they do it without us having to ask. So in the beginning, there is leash pressure through the prong and physical pressure through the tapping on the butt. Some dogs take more of a tap than others. Some dogs catch on to this much more quickly than others. So it really just depends on your dog. So in this situation, we're still giving Nico both leash pressure and physical touch pressure to get him to where we want him. It's probably going to take Nico another session or two working on auto sits to really grasp it. We're also outside in a pretty distracting area. As you can see, there's people walking up and down the street. He's stopping when I'm stopping, which is a good sign, but it's not 100%. It's not exactly where we need him to be. So the next step for this is we would give him leash pressure and pause for a second before we give him the little tap on the butt, asking him to sit. So we kind of phase it out. We did not get there in this session because anytime I paused and gave upward leash pressure, he did not sit down. So we're going to keep reinforcing that, and I'm going to keep challenging him until he gets it. So he will tell you when he understands or when he completely knows what you're asking of him. And he will do that sit automatically. But until then, help him out, give him the chance to make the right decision. So give him that second to pause and say, okay, what should I be doing here? And then if he doesn't do it, but he is tuned in and he is focusing, then just give him a little help, give him a little tap, and it'll help him to learn that, okay, this is exactly what she wants. And as soon as I do this, leash pressure goes off, and he will learn very quickly exactly what you want. Just like any other command, the auto sit should remain until you ask him to do something else. So whether you ask him to heel or ask him to come, he should stay in that sit until told otherwise. So you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out and have fun training your dog along with us.